Hello and welcome, this is Matt from Premier Designs, and today we'll be learning how to use the gradient tool and the colour palette in Photoshop. So first, I'm just going to open, sorry, I'm not going to open, I'm going to start a new image. So there's my settings, it's 1280 by 720, resolution 72, colour mode RGB colour, and transparent for colour. That's what I use. Although you can use white, it doesn't really make a difference, just do that. So, first things first, we'll press D, although you probably won't have to. If your colours aren't black and white, press D to reset them, and then click on the black to choose a colour. Now, I'm going to go with a blue for this, because I like blue. Now press X, and as you see, when I press X, it changes, so I can pick the next colour. And for this tutorial, it would be advisable to use the same colour but a darker shade, so I'm going to go for that sort of dark blue, and then swap the colours back around because I always prefer a light over a light on top of the dark colour, but it's just personal preference. And now we're going to click here, and that's the gradient tool. But normally, by default, it will be the paint bucket tool, which looks like this. You just hold your mouse down, and there's the gradient tool, or you can press G. But you don't need to learn the shortcuts because it only saves a little bit of time. It's not essential. Now I'll start on the basic, which is just a linear gradient, which means it's just a straight line whichever way you pull it. So if I pull it that way, it's going to be a straight line down the middle. Sorry, it does it the opposite way. If you go vertically, it'll pull it horizontally. If you do it horizontally, it's doing it wrong because I'm not doing it properly. It's a more vertical. You can see here it's dark, here it's light, whereas if I do it, and I've done it wrong again, dark, light, it's, yeah. Anyway, now I'll move on to radial, which I use a lot for backgrounds. A technique I use a lot for the backgrounds. If, say, that's the background just there where I've marked my mouse, if you go from 3/4 of the way up the background and drag outwards, it adds a nice effect, and also you can do it from the middle of this image. And another one I've learnt is if you also drag up, if I'll do it properly, you get a nice kind of curved effect, which looks quite nice, and then, but I do it the other way around, so the light colour's on top. But it's not working as well, because it's just a normal image rather than a rectangle. It's longer than it is taller, I think. Anyway, moving on. Now the next one I don't know much about because I haven't used it, so let's just try some... Oh right, yeah, so you could get that, or you can add just a straight line, which would be very nice if, say, you did that, obviously in a straight line, just ignore if you had that, boot up some text, and then just put, say, Premier Design, I'll put space because this would probably be for something more professional, Designs, double click on the text layer, which you didn't know highlights it, so it saves you have to do it yourself, change it to maybe white because it'll stand out, change the font size. Maybe that's a bit big, but I'm just doing this quickly. That looks quite nice. And there you go, you could use it for more of a kind of professional promo with some information or prices, or you get the idea. So I'll just remove that, and on to the next one. So I'll click back on the gradient tool, and this looks quite interesting. No, it'd be the other way, wouldn't it? Oh, that's strange. It's basically the same as linear, I think. Oh no, you do it inside and it gives streaks. Ah, I see. So the smaller the streak, the kind of more the colour stands out, as you see, like that. Ah, I see. Like there, you can use it for kind of, if I do it in the middle, use it as like a cinema aspect ratio. Like on the widescreen TVs, when you've got the picture playing and the black on either side, you can use it for something like that. Now on to the final one, which is called diamond gradient, which is like the radial, but it gives more of a starred diamond effect in the middle, so it could... very small one. But that could also be useful if you kept duplicating another layer, and then did it again, and then it's not going to work. Never mind, I had an idea, but it didn't work. So let's just do it straight across, and it gives a nice kind of like you could do for a speed art, where it could be radiating outwards and etc, etc, and then obviously the other way. That looks quite nice. And then you could add brushes and stuff, and so on and so forth. So I'll reset the colours, and then click on it, and then you can also add swatches, which you can name, and I'll just leave it swatch 1, and then you pick a certain colour, and then there you go. But it's not really that useful. And then the colour libraries gives you all the different shades of that colour you've selected. So if I did that, it gives me all the shades of yellow. That gives me all the shades of a darky kind of gold layer. It's black, you see, and then yeah. If I look, obviously the paint bucket tool. There you go. It's just it's a one touch click fill. Button, that's the word. I'll quickly go over brushes actually while I feel like it. There's the located the brush tool, and it's B, but you don't need to know that. And there's also the pencil tool, so you can just, that's the default, you can scribble. Let's go on to the brush tool now. If you click up here, it comes up with all the brushes you've got so far, which isn't many. As you can see, that adds a, yeah. And if you're wondering how I'm going back so quickly, you just click Control, Alt and Z, which goes backwards 1, and then if I do Control Shift Z, it goes forward 1. But yeah, if you click this little arrow here, up by where the brushes are, you can click Load Brushes. Sorry, not Load Brushes. You can click, unless you can download brushes online, and I'll put a link to brusheasy.com where you can download a lot of custom brushes for speed arts or backgrounds or whatever you're using it for. But they do have some basic brushes, okay, and that gives you special effect ones, drop shadow brushes, okay. You get the idea. And then Control Alt Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z. Now back to the normal. I recommend calligraphic brushes. I can never say that. And if you do that, and then you can see it gives a cool little animation, and then you can do that, and then it's more of like a proper art brush, which is good if you're doing, let's say, I can't do graffiti on the computer, but you're just writing like text. It gives you a nice stroke. Yeah, blah blah blah. So I'll reset that back to assorted brushes, okay. No, that's not the one I wanted. I wanted basic brushes, okay. It just gives you the basic brushes, which, to be honest, are the easiest to use. Just get that. So, yeah, I think that wraps up pretty much this tutorial. Sub Premiere Designs, my other channel, which is Creative Art Project. My Skype's on Premiere Designs channel in the About Us section. So feel free to add me for custom backgrounds and one-to-one tutorials. I don't charge for tutorials, so yeah, that's me done, and yeah, I will see you next time.